Hello Internet, it's Trusty Phil Brown here again with another movie review for this week. This week I'm taking a look at the film Lone Survivor, which is a very, very tricky film to review because as an action film it is very well done, very exciting, very tense, very gripping and violent. It's by Peter Berg, who has made some crappy movies like Battleship, but does, in the end of the day, know how to pace and construct an action scene. It also has some great performances from people like Mark Wahlberg, Taylor Kitsch, and Emile Hirsch, who are all sort of movie stars, and as a result don't often get the respect they deserve for being really sort of grounded, realistic performances. It also has Ben Foster, who's the best actor of his generation. It's fascinating to watch in anything. However, it is a contemporary war film, which means it is very, very one-sided, particularly for a war film coming from Hollywood. The way that the Afghani citizens are represented are either as just purely evil drones that need to be machine gunned down, or as impossibly pious citizens caught in the middle of an unjust war. And unfortunately, that sort of moral simplification is very uncomfortable, doesn't seem right, and is sadly all that is allowed to be made from a war film in Hollywood these days. It's weird. It's a hard genre because it started with sort of World War II movies in which that sort of moral simplification wasn't really a problem, because you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who didn't have a problem with the Nazis. However, with a war like the ones going on in Afghanistan and Iraq, things are far more complicated, and this type of movie can be very difficult to watch for a viewer from a certain perspective. In the 70s, you would get sort of propagandistic war films like John Wayne's The Green Berets, but you'd also get something like Apocalypse Now or MASH to sort of balance it out. These days, at least from Hollywood, you only get movies like Lone Survivor, and they're essentially military recruitment films, and even though a film like Lone Survivor does present military heroism in a way that is justified, the war that it's tackling it just doesn't deserve this sort of treatment, and for a viewer like myself can be very, very uncomfortable. So I would say if you're someone who can watch a film like this without the politics getting in the way, then yeah, certainly it's a fun action film to experience. However, if you're someone who has very complex and mixed feelings about this war, then it is not a film that can be watched with any sort of comfort. If you really want to watch a Mark Wahlberg war film this weekend, I would suggest instead seeking out Three Kings, which is a really, really excellent film by David O. Russell, and was sort of the last time a filmmaker was allowed to make a war film in Hollywood that sort of questioned the American military complex. Unfortunately, now all we get are movies like Lone Survivor, and for someone like me, I just can't get behind it. For all its merits, it is a deeply uncomfortable watch, and so don't see it, I guess. So anyway, this has been surprisingly political Phil Brown, who apologizes for taking that perspective and won't do it next week, reporting for RealTimeRoots.com. Thanks.